everybody out there, this is Sean Joy from TechRaptor, aka Dragnix, and this is Out There Omega Edition. Now, before I begin this first impressions, I want to make sure that you guys know that this first impressions was done via a key obtained from the developer. Specifically, I've obtained it via a member of TechRaptor via the developer, so keep that in mind for any possible bias, so on and so forth. Again, these are my unfiltered thoughts about the game and my first impressions of the gameplay in question, but keep that in mind. So, $9.99 that comes out on Steam today when you're seeing the video. The question or not is this roguelike and roguelike in space, similarities to FTL a little bit, is it worth your time? And in particular, is the Omega Edition, which is an upgraded version of the mobile out there, which the mobile will also be getting an Omega Edition as well, is that better than that version, and what changes have been made? Well, let's take a look here. It's addicting, I'll give it that, although there are some problems that I see with it. Alright, so let's take a look at our ship. This is our ship. This is what gets us from place to place, and basically we're trying to get to this certain galaxy to sort of, finish off the, this exploration that we're going into the world with. Now, in order to do that, you need to keep in mind three things: your fuel, your oxygen, and your hull. Fuel is used to move from location to location, as well as to use to probe and drill things. That is maintained with this sort of atom icon. Oxygen is used to keep yourself alive, also used in things like re-entry and movement. And the hull is the amount of damage that your spaceship is basically taking. If any one element goes to zero, you're basically at the end of the game at that point. You're probably going to lose. But you can replenish it by these elements. So for example, this hydrogen I can throw in here and it will refuel me, and it will use it up until it can't be used anymore, or doesn't have enough to go over 100. So I've got one hydrogen left over. Same thing with the hull. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to actually split it a little bit because I want to keep a little bit of iron around. So I'm going to use the rest of the iron here to repair my hull. Don't have any oxygen to repair, so I got to keep that in mind. I need to find a source of oxygen. Now you'll also notice these slots here. I can also choose to build things if I have the technology. So I could build a cryonics if I find the appropriate elements. I need 3 iron, which is why I kept a little bit of the iron around, but I need a silicone, so I can't craft it yet. These will upgrade your ship in some way. This one allows me to go into cryostasis during long jumps, such as the trip from Earth to Jupiter. Now, each of your ships, and one ship you start off with, you can find more as you go along, have a spec. Power, the amount of fuel you use per movement; ecosystem, the amount of oxygen you use; and resistance, the amount of damage your hull takes. So, let's go to the planet side portion. Now, I can go to the rocky planet here and look for some ore, and I'm going to do that. I've got the fuel to do that at this point. Now, each of these movements will cost something. It'll cost me 10 fuel and 6 oxygen to do that, so I'm going to do it. And I'll land as well, which will cost 4 fuel. I land on the planet, and I can drill. Now, drilling and probing take an amount of fuel. I'm going to probe a little bit to see what is in the surface of the Earth. Now, surface of the planet. Okay, it looks like it's got silicon and iron. I needed the silicon, and I've got the iron. It's a good way to probe in terms of what possibly it could have. As you go deeper, you get some rare elements, but that's a good idea of, what is the most generic item that it's got. Now, I'm going to drill a little bit deeper. More silicon and more iron. Yeah, I just want to make sure that was silicon. And I'm actually going to build my cryonics. Cool. Simple enough. I got to keep in count the oxygen here. I'm going to actually throw that one last hydrogen on there to use that fuel up. So I need to make sure I find some oxygen. Now, there are 3 different planets, and this is one of the planet types. So I'm going to take off again, and I'm going to go to a different galaxy at this point. So, this is my range of my ship. And my ship can move within that range. Now, the ones that are colored here are ones that I've already visited. That arrow that you see down there is where I'm trying to get at. And this is my telescope. This is one of my devices that allows me to look at the different types of stars that are, or galaxies that are out there. So I have a couple of choices here. I can go to here, which is a red dwarf. Well, what is a red dwarf? Well, this is a type of galaxy at this point, and that galaxy will have certain attributes to it. Maybe more planets with gases, maybe more planets with more solid portions. Let's look here. A supernova. Supernova seems to always be useful to me, so I'm going to actually fly that way. So we're going to fly over there. Ah, random event. I land on a small planet hoping to find life there, but it's almost entirely methanic, low gravity. They may even have hydrogen or helium inside. What if well, I'm going to try to capture the creature at this point. I took some damage, but I gathered some helium. Helium is really good for what I want it to do. Ooh. This is a nice atmosphere, or a nice galaxy. Why is it a nice galaxy? Because of this. An abandoned ship. Ooh, look at that ship. It looks pretty nice, doesn't it? Let's look at its cargo. All right, let's take a look at the amount of equipment here. We have 13 equipment versus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 equipment. Okay, that seems like I'm losing portions here, right? Well, hold on. Let's look at the specs. More power, more ecosystem, and more resistance. I'm going to take over this ship. So what I'm going to do is take it over. And then I'm going to take a look at the cargo and pull over what I want. Now, this one needs to be repaired, but it takes iron. So, that's cool. I'll just take that iron over. I'll take this over, and I'll repair this. And there we go. I've also got, it looks like I've got a subspace reactor, which increases my power, as well as the shield generator. Cool. All right, I'm going to take the helium here because, well, actually, I'm not sure yet, because not every ship acts the same way. Let's take a look at the ship. All right, actually it does. So this one will take hydrogen and helium for fuel. It'll take oxygen and platinum for oxygen, and iron and I think that's cobalt for the hull. So this is pretty good ship that I found. It doesn't have as many slots, but it's more dynamic. And so I'm going to show the cargo again. I'm going to take that helium back. I'm going to take the silicone at this point, and I think that's about it. Well, sort of. You see, the thing is that you may run into a situation in which you have no iron, and you need iron because something broke. Like, for example, let's take a look here. My drill can be repaired via 1 iron if it breaks, but I can also dismantle things. So I'm going to dismantle the equipment here and take what I need. Might as well take that. Take over the 1 silicon. I'll take the interplanetary reactor there. Take the 2 iron. Basically, I'm looking for all the iron I can get at this point. Platinum. Platinum's useful, but I don't have the room for it. So my question is, do I really want? I'm going to dismantle that portion of it because I don't think I need that. I don't think I need cryonics. So I have a little bit more equipment to work with so I can take the platinum. That may change my ship's stats, but that's all right with me. And I'm done. Cool. So, here's our new ship. And this is random. This is where you find, the random things within the world. All right. Let's take a look at another planet at this point. Ooh, a breathable atmosphere. And look at how the items have changed. So before, it would have taken about 10 fuel and about 6 oxygen to go to a planet. Now it takes 6 and 4 because of the stats. And so it's easier for me to go and land on a planet, so on and so forth. Every time you go to a breathable planet, you restore your oxygen supply. Cool. Excellent. Now the randomness can be pretty tough at times. Sometimes you get really lucky, sometimes you don't. I've noticed that within my play that when bad luck happens, there's not a... Skill-wise, you're just sort of screwed. There's not a lot you can do. All right, so let's encounter some life. Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. Blah, 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 blah. The alien places something on the ground and runs away. Okay. Death and Omega. I don't think he actually places the item on the ground because I don't have any room there. Most likely he put down an Omega element, which I can't take. All right, so we've learned some new words. So the idea is the more races that I find and more people I interact with, I may be able to do more with over time because I've learned something from them. All right, let's... Well, I can't do anything there. I might as well just move at this point. I'm going to take off, and I'm going to go to the next galaxy. And look at that range now. My range is high. But I don't have a telescope, so I don't know where I'm going. But that's fine because my stats are a lot more improved. Let's go there. It looks like a yellow dwarf. A bubble as big as an asteroid is floating in space, dotted with shiny blinking spots. Oh, of course I'm touching the bright object. Particle of antimatter. Okay, my hull took damage. All right, fine. We will repair a little bit of the hull here. All right, I used up my iron. I'm thinking about crafting a telescope, but I don't think I need it, actually. We'll use the helium for some fuel. Might as well at this point. I can get rid of the silicone, actually, so I'm going to go to the breathable planet. I like going to the breathable planets, especially because of the alien races, so I try to hit everyone I can. So encounter life. Okay, so I learned the word omega. Okay, and I got an omega. U. Okay, cool. What's omega? Well, omega is sort of that wild card element, and so it can repair any system and really do anything at this point. I'm going to get rid of my silicone here because I don't need it. And I'm going to drill a little bit to see if I can get some more. None of this is really useful to me. Well, I guess the oxygen would be, so I might as well take that. I'll use it soon anyway. Any other breathable planets here? Gas giant, don't need it. No, not ye. No, I'm gonna go to it. All right, so I'm gonna probe here. I like probing a little bit to see what the planet has. Okay, so it looks like it only has hydrogen, so I'm not gonna bother with that. I'm actually gonna use my helium here. And I'm gonna use the 1 platinum because I really don't need it at this point. So the idea here is that I'm looking for fuel so that I don't have to, get it later on. Okay, more hydrogen. All right. Now, hydrogen gives 2 for every element, so I'm going to keep on probing until I sort of run out. Like, I'm getting a bonus every time that I get it. I'm making a return on investment. So I'm going to probe one more time to see if I still get more. Now, each planet has an associated amount of elements to it, so you will eventually run out on that planet. All right, let's go to the next spot. I don't have a telescope, so I might as well just go. It's a black hole. I really can't use this, so this black hole, there's certain upgrades that will allow you to use the black holes efficiently. All right, on to that one. All right. Ooh, another breathable planet atmosphere. Of course, I'm landing. Get some oxygen here, and I'm going to counter the life. Ah, I learned you. You gave me another omega, and I learned the word God. So you could see that using everything to your advantage in terms of, what is your strength of your ship at this point is good. Right now, my ship is very efficient, and it's good for me to, take a look at some of these planets. I don't need to drill that often at this point. My hull is reasonable. My oxygen is reasonable. And it looks like these are all, well, gas giant. All right. I'll use the rest of my helium and my hydrogen, and then try to gather as much resources as possible. Fuel is my sort of go-to at this point. I need fuel. All right, launch a probe. Ah, good, helium. That gives me more reason to probe deeper for more helium. Helium gives 4 elements of fuel rather than the 2 for hydrogen, so I want to keep helium around and use the hydrogen up as much as I can because I'm keeping more fuel on hand. Let's probe one more time because I may be able to get more helium at this point. There we go. And that means I can use the rest of this hydrogen on that portion. All right, let's move around. So the idea here is that you will run across elements and random events that, you got to deal with. And right now, things are going well. The problem is, you'll notice something. If I run out of iron right now, I'm sort of screwed. Like if my drill, let's say, broke, I don't know how I'm going to be able to repair it. And I'm going to need iron right now for the hull, so I need to find a planet. Now, I'll go to the breathable atmosphere. Again, like I said before. Counter the life. You God. Oh, he thinks I'm God. And he's going to give me more Omega. I've got that Omega. That's great in terms of my equipment. And so I'm not too worried about my hull breaking because I've got 3 Omega that were acts as that wild card. Alright. Now again, there are certain elements that are obviously more important than others. Oxygen is medium important in terms of you'll find those planets and they will replenish you. Fuel's the most important, so hydrogen and helium seem to always come into play. Your hull, of course, is important, but iron is seemingly easier to get in portions and doesn't take as much damage with some of the upgrades that you get. So I always feel like the fuel is always what I need to focus on. All right, let's try to get some drilling done here. There we go. That's some iron. More iron. I'm running out of fuel, though, so I'm gonna boost my fuel back up with helium and then gather more resources at this point. Leave the planet. Go over to the gaseous portion of the planet. Probe that. There we go. There's more helium for me. Yeah, I might as well just go for the helium at this point. It'd be not... I could use the iron, and in fact I probably should be, but I'm not. So, the idea here is to keep on going as much as you can throughout the game. Now, what does the Omega Edition offer rather than the regular edition? Well, 50 more written sections, another ending, 2 more spaceships, some proper resolutions on the PC, obviously. It is in 1080p, and pretty much that's it. That's where my question lies. I've enjoyed my time with the writing and, you know, the randomness in terms of roguelikes and roguelites of this game. I admit, I am a sort of roguelike. These mechanics really sort of suit me in terms of my kind of gameplay. However, I still think this is enjoyable. I've really enjoyed the writing. I've really enjoyed the randomization to an extent. Sometimes I feel like the randomization really screws you over at times. Like, really badly. This time around, it looks like I did pretty darn well. I keep on getting Omegas, which are the wild cards, which I'm sort of flabbergasted by right now because, honestly, I'm not expecting it. I'll take the cobalt and the carbon at this point because just to finish it off, I think I can use that cobalt somewhere. Yeah, I can use it on the hull for +5. That's pretty good at this point. I don't need the carbon. In fact, I might as well drill for more at this point. Yeah, one more. I guess one more is okay. So yeah, the randomization is pretty hit or miss, and you could run into a situation where you just don't have enough to deal with anything. Now, with that said, there is a mechanism where you run out of something, you have sort of a last gasp attempt to try to get equipment, or to try to get the resource that you need, and about 80% of the time it fails, but 20% of the time it does work. All right, I need some probing here. Ah, helium, excellent. Actually, I probably should use that cobalt while I'm here. Just use that so I can just fuel up here because I might as well. Take the hydrogen. Take the hydrogen. Let's go a little bit deeper. There we go. I'm gonna lose one here, but that's all right. I'm gonna be using it all anyway. I'm still getting a return on investment, so I might as well keep on probing. 10, 18, and I only used about 5, I think. 4. Again. All right, sorry about that. I sort of clicked off screen. I'm going to take my chances here at this point and go to that atmosphere. Hoping to run across a bigger event. No, none of this is worth my time. Let's go further. I'm going to go a little bit longer for you guys just to see if I can find another, you know, huge event or like another quest. I will need fuel in a second, so might as well use my hydrogen, helium, boop, 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 boo. Probe the surface, take the hydrogen, run away, go to the next place. It takes more fuel over distance, so keep that in mind. And gathered, random fuel, excellent. Gas giant, I'm doing good. I'm gonna keep on going. Gonna press my luck. Ah, there we go. That's what I wanted. My ship approaches a huge and strange construction. It's really alien, very different from anything I've seen before. Words appear to my computer screen. Words in my own language. Man from the Earth, we are watching you. Your journey is more about your mere existence. Surviving, we shall open the way to your eternal quest. Whoa, he come to start a lot of, like, and then you'll find the answers you seek. Ooh, I learned a new technology. That technology I know is like for being able to travel further distances, but with the amount of space that I have, not really worth it. Anything else here? Ooh, another ship. See, now you got a different ship here. This one's got a really good ecosystem, but its power and resistance isn't that great. But it's got a lot of equipment. Now, the thing is, I'd rather keep this one because of its stats. So I'm going to actually stay with this guy. And I need to actually use some oxygen. Use the helium, or the hydrogen. And we're good. So, in the end, is Omega Edition, is the game worth it? Out There Omega Edition. Almost forgot the name of the game. I think so. I think the thing is, what is going to be interesting is that I haven't played the mobile version, and based on what I see, is that it's got 50 more written sections, 1 more ending, 2 more spaceships, proper resolutions. If you don't have a mobile device that you can play on, you just got a regular flip phone or something, obviously you want to play this version. Otherwise, it's a question of whether or not it's preference or not. Again, this is coming to mobile at this point, and the original one, there's not that much new content. The thing is that the spaceships, there's 2 more spaceships, yeah, but the real thing is the graphics. And I do think there's an improvement over it, but I am not the kind of person who really needs that portion in terms of the upgrading question. So my question will be, is the new ships, you know, unique enough? Is the, you know, new writing that much better? I enjoyed this game personally, and I've shown you the mechanics and shown you exactly what's going on in the game. This is what you get. So this is Dragnix signing out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, leave comments, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you later. Hey everybody, my name is Sean Joy, aka Dragnix, and I thank you for watching. If you do like this video, hit that like button, and if you do want more content like this from TechRaptor, hit that subscribe button. I will be doing content for TechRaptor on Mondays and Thursdays video-wise, and then doing the rest of the week on the video on my own channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Also, play more games. Needs more games.